H, case number CRB 23-162.
I had the urine screening results positive for THC and alcohol. And a report from Bethesda saying you're non-compliant.
So I think there was some issues with communication. Last week, we had an issue with one of our buildings that, an
I
issue.
think I saw that. We're part of a collapse.
Yeah, Mark Fields owns it, so like the retaining wall or something collapsed. So, but we have other offices, and so I don't think he knew exactly where to go. We're back on track, and we're going to get his anger management completed. He's going to reach out to his counselor today.
And he's also currently in the process of getting his marijuana card, is that correct?
Yeah.
So, but I think the last time he tested it was for THC. And I believe the alcohol level is pretty low.
Yeah, it's lower.
So we do ask, just get it maybe set for 30 days or so and come back and hopefully have everything finished by then.
Uh, 25th of September.
That's fine, man.
All right, September 25th for sentencing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Jennifer Cooper, case number CRA 23507. And Jack Ball is on deck for Orange County Jail.
Probably needs. Ma'am, are you Jennifer Cooper?
Yes.
Bail is bringing you a copy of the charges. Were you here when I explained the rights of defendants before?
Yes.
You understand that? You have any questions about what your rights are?
No.
Okay, the charge, 23507, is a possession of drugs charge. It's a felony. It's alleged on August the 19th in Fayette Township, you knowingly obtained or possessed methamphetamine. That's a Schedule II substance, possession of which is a felony 5. The maximum penalty for that's a year in jail and $2,500 fine. 23506 is possession of drug paraphernalia. Same time and place as alleged you were in possession of a glass pipe which had drug residue in it. That's a 4th degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty 30 days in jail, $250 fine. Then you've got some traffic charges, TRC case number 231127, A, B, and C. The A case alleges August 19th at 9:44 p.m. in Fayette Township, you were driving while you were under the influence of alcohol or drugs or a combination of those things. And it's alleged that this would be your first offense. On a first offense, the maximum you face is 6 months in jail, $1,075 fine, and a 3-year license suspension. The minimum penalty is 3 days in treatment, $375 fine, and a 6-month license suspension. You're charged with not wearing a safety belt. That's a minor misdemeanor. The maximum penalty, it's actually a mandatory penalty of $30 fine if you're found guilty of that offense. And illegally parking on the roadway, that's a minor misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is $150 fine. So those are the charges. Do you understand those charges? Yes?
Yes.
Do you have the money to hire a lawyer? Do you have a job? Do you have no income?
Yeah, I get survivor benefits.
How much is that? Is that per month?
Yes.
How much per month?
It's $8.79.
That's your only income? Okay, you're eligible for court-appointed lawyers. Mr. Steyer, you're...
Thompson's on motion.
Tom Schmidt still here?
Yeah, I think he just left unless he's still in the building.
All right, well, there's a felony in here, but if it's the one that you're going to try to keep here,
This looks like one we could keep here if things go the way we want them to.
give Mr. Thompson. Thompson, this is Jennifer Cooper. She does have a felony possession, but the state initially is willing to look at keeping it in this court.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's on a recommendation of an assessment to go along with her bond and do treatment.
That's correct, Your Honor. And we would go ahead and state ultimately, since there also is a very serious charge of OBI involved, if that's going to be contested, then we would then allow it to be sent to the common police court to be contested there. If it can be resolved here, that will keep the whole case here.
All right, I'll let Mr. Thompson explain that all to you. It's a little bit complicated, but a felony is the more serious charge. A felony, theoretically, you can go to prison for if you're found guilty. On a misdemeanor, which the other charges all are misdemeanors, you can only go to the county jail as a punishment. So the state is saying, at least initially, they're willing to look at keeping it in this court, which I cannot sentence you to prison from here. So that takes the risk of going to prison off the table. If you're willing to go to treatment and do well, they may even dismiss the charge against you down the road. So is treatment something that you would be willing to look at?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a medical card?
I'm not for sure if I still have it now or not.
Oh,
They can help with that.
yeah. What state did you last have a medical card?
Ohio.
Ohio, okay. I've got a Crown City address for you, is that right?
I just recently moved.
To Crown City, or
Yes,
where'd you live before that?
in Portsmouth.
Okay, is transportation an issue for you?
No,
You got a
I have a car.
You have a car? Okay, I'm sorry?
Carson has availability for female.
354-3977.
Okay. Then it's Mary, right?
Yes.
All right, Mary's going to talk to you about an assessment from Cardinal. And what'll happen is you're going to go do assessment and treatment if they set it up for you. If you're successful, then ultimately you can get it dismissed, but you'll come back periodically and I'm going to look at what you're doing. They'll give me a report as to whether you're being compliant, if you're doing what you're supposed to on your treatment. So probably the first hearing should be on the 11th.
Very good, thank you.
September 11th will be your first hearing back here, and I'll get a report. They'll let you sign bond. I don't think you didn't post a bond, did you? She can sign a $2,000 signature bond. All right, so get something set up with Mary, talk with her. You got to take this seriously and do what is set up for you, or your case will go to the grand jury for an indictment, and you go to the felony court.
Yes, sir.
You don't want that.
No.
September the 11th at 10 o'clock is the next meeting.
Thank you.
State of Ohio, Jack Ball at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRA 23509, CRB 23510, CRC 231132, A and B. William Van Bibber is on that.
Okay, and sir, are you Jack Ball? Can you, apparently you can hear me, but your audio is not coming through. So let's try.
Can you hear me?
Now I can, yes, now you're coming through. Okay, Mr. Ball, I'm going to go over the charges with you. Before I do that, so make sure you understand your rights. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. You do, what you say is on the record and can be used. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one, to have bail, and to make the state prove charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those things, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to go over the charges with you now. 23509 is a possession of drugs charge, and it alleges that at Rome Township, on August the 19th, you knowingly were in possession of methamphetamine, a Schedule II substance. Possession of methamphetamine is a felony. Felony 5. It carries a maximum penalty of a year in jail, $2,500 fine. Then there's case number 23510. And that alleges at the same time and place you were in possession of drug paraphernalia, meaning 2 glass pipes that had drug residue in them. That's a 4th-degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty 30 days in jail, $250 fine. And then there's also a traffic charge.
Yeah, the trooper said driving on it is expired.
Well, you've got that, and you've got operating a vehicle intoxicated, too. That's the more serious charge.
Well, I wasn't intoxicated at all.
Okay. But they're still charged you with that. They may not be able to prove it, but you're charged with that. So that's case number 231132, A and B. The A case alleges that you, on August 19th at 2:49 a.m. in Rome Township, were driving while you were under the influence of alcohol or drugs, and that you refused to take tests. It is alleged to be your first offense. Maximum penalty on a first offense is 6 months in jail, $1,075 fine, and a 3-year license suspension. The minimum penalty is 3 days in treatment, $375 fine, and a 6-month license suspension. You're also charged with driving on a license that had been suspended previously, but you never reinstated it. So an unreinstated license, that's a unclassified misdemeanor. The maximum penalty for that's 500 hours of community service and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand the charges against you, Mr. Ball?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the money to hire a lawyer?
No, sir.
Do you have a job?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I work construction.
Do you work for a company?
No, it's an independent contractor.
Who is it?
Russell Coleman.
Are you paid by the hour?
No, paid by the day.
How much per day are you paid?
I make $400 a day.
When's the last time you worked?
It was Saturday, I was supposed to be at work, but I was sitting here in jail.
You were in jail Saturday?
Yes, sir.
How many days a week do you work?
Every day.
So you're making over $100,000 a year then.
I just started with him
When did you start?
2 weeks ago.
What did you do before that?
Side jobs under the table, like cutting grass or breaking leaves.
Do you have any money saved at this point?
No, sir.
Have you been paid by this gentleman yet on this new job?
No, sir.
Okay.
So, like, the only way I'd be able to get out is if I get OR bond out.
Well, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to appoint a lawyer for you, and you live, I've got a Huntington address for you, Madison Avenue, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll appoint Mr. Steyer.
But to be honest with you, I'd like to get treatment too, because like after that night, I don't want it. I don't want drugs, nothing to do with them, period.
Okay, well,
Like,
let's,
I'd rather go home and just go to work and do what I'm supposed to.
have you been to treatment before?
No, sir.
How do you pay for medical services?
I get a medical card.
West Virginia?
Yep.
What's the state's position on bond for Mr. Ball and treatment?
Your Honor, I'm reading through the narrative from Trooper Jewell from the Highway Patrol, and he says that the EMS was involved, and there were two unresponsive occupants of the vehicle, one being Mr.
Yeah,
Ball.
because I went to sleep.
And
I was
so
asleep.
they don't say the word Narcan, and I don't know if it happened, but it sounds like
They
they
did Narcan.
found them in
They
a
did.
state that the vehicle was off the road. So we have concerns about his well-being. So we'd like to have him,
Great.
we'd like to have him assessed for even residential treatment. Now, realizing he's a West Virginia resident, so I don't know to what extent that's
Yeah, I live in Huntsville.
pretty concerning.
Okay, I'm going to have someone talk to you about treatment. You said you were interested in that. Can you call down and talk to him?
Yeah, I am interested in it.
Okay, someone's going to talk to you, and then after that happens, I will have you back and we'll decide how we're going to proceed after you talk to the council, okay? All right, so I'll see you in a few minutes.
State of Ohio versus William Van Bibber, case number CRB 23-504, and Cindy Van Bibber is on deck.
Sir, are you William Van Bibber?
Yes, sir.
Your charges were faxed down to the jail this morning at 11:20 a.m., so you should have them about an hour ago. It's a domestic violence charge. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. If you do, it can be used against you. It's all being recorded. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one, to have bail, and to make the state prove this charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those things?
Yes, Your Honor.
Domestic violence is the charge. It's alleged this happened on August the 19th of this year in Perry Township, that you, by threat of force, knowingly caused Cindy Van Bibber, who's a member of your family or household, to believe that you would cause her imminent physical harm, or to her, another member of her family. That's a fourth-degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty 30 days in jail, $250 fine. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
How do you wish to plead to this charge?
Your Honor, I wish to plead not guilty because I was on the phone with the dispatch until the officers arrived. I never done nothing. I did not, no, I didn't do it. I was on the phone the whole time.
I'll enter a not guilty plea for you. I guess we need to ask him if he wants a protection order from her. Does she have, is there a cross filing?
She has a charge, but it's not a cross-filing. They charged her with possession of, we charged her with possession of paraphernalia.
Oh, okay.
She's in jail, I believe.
Yes.
Yes, she is. She was cracked out, Your Honor. That's what it was. I tried to get her out.
Do you have a place where you can stay away from Cindy?
I got my camper. It's my camper. Yeah, that's mine. I just got it.
Okay. Has she been living there with you or someplace else?
She stays with my daughter.
Okay.
She came over. That's my camper.
All right, so I don't want you all around each other at least until we sort some of this out. So I'm going to let you out though on a signature bond, but you got to stay away from Cindy.
Okay, I can.
All right.
And we're preparing a protection order for that.
You want a lawyer appointed to represent you?
No, because like I said, I never done nothing. I never done that at all.
Well, that doesn't mean you don't need a lawyer. You probably need one worse if you haven't done anything.
Yeah, I'd like to have one, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather get one. Like I said, I never done nothing.
What's your income? Do you have, are you working? Do you have any income?
No, I'm disabled. I can't work no more.
You get Social Security?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll appoint a lawyer. And let's make it Roger Smith. do you have a phone number where you can be reached, Mr. Van Bibber?
1-859-999-3203.
Okay. I'm going to let you sign a signature bond of $1,000. You understand what that means?
Yes.
So you just, and I'll give you a court date. Let's look. These are fourth-degree misdemeanors, so it'll be pretty soon. September 5th will be your court date. Pre-trial at 10 o'clock, September 5th. That's a Tuesday. Usually court's Mondays and Fridays, but the 4th is a holiday. It's Labor Day, so we're having court on the 5th. You have to be here then. It's at the court in Chesapeake. You know where that is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Roger Smith will be your attorney. All right, any questions, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll send down an order for you to stay away from Cindy.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we're done.
That's it. Yes, sir.
State of Ohio versus Cindy K. Van Bibber, case number CRB 23508. Chaz McCoy is on deck.
Ma'am, are you Cindy Van Bibber? Miss Van Bibber, I'm Judge Capper. This is your arraignment hearing on a drug paraphernalia charge. It's filed in the court of Chesapeake, and you're appearing in this court by teleconference. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. If you choose to make statements, it's all being taken down. It can be used against you if you admit something. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one, to have bail, and to make the state prove this charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those things?
Yes, sir.
This charge alleges that at Perry Township on August 19th, you knowingly were using drug paraphernalia, being a glass pipe with drug residue. It's a fourth-degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty 30 days in jail, $250 fine. Do you understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, you do or you don't understand it?
Yes, I do.
And you understand your rights?
Yes.
How do you plead to this charge?
I'm guilty, I'm sorry.
Guilty means you're admitting it's true. Do you understand that?
Yes. I refuse.
Okay. Have you ever had any treatment for substance use before?
No, sir. I went to a Suboxone clinic on my own. And I went there for like 3 months and then I stopped and then this was just an upset thing that I did.
Do you have a medical card?
Yes, sir.
Ohio?
Kentucky.
Kentucky?
I have welfare in Kentucky.
Are you living in Kentucky or South Point?
Right now, I'm in between both, really. I'm pretty much homeless. I'm trying to get back to my husband, and apparently I'm not. I don't guess. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't look good right now. He said something about he thought you were staying with your daughter.
I had been, but then she had to move, so I had to move also. And that was when I moved back in with him. And now I guess I'm not supposed to, I guess he must be there, so. That's the last place that I was with him.
Can you live with your daughter, or do you have a place to go now?
I'm sure I can find somewhere to go.
In Kentucky, or are you going to go back to Kentucky, you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get back to Kentucky and get back to my Suboxone clinic that I was going to, if that's okay.
Well, it's okay. I'm going to refer you to ARC for counseling. They're in Kentucky.
I went through that Fresh Start, which I was through.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with them. I want you to use ARC. They're in Ashland. Is Ashland where you would probably be staying? Do you have a phone number where you can be reached?
Yes, 606 407 7599.
Jeremy,
Well, she had that phone on her and she's released.
will you have this phone when you're released?
Yes, I have to go to his house to get it,
Okay.
with my belongings over there at his house.
We need
He's ordered to stay away from you, so
Am I able to drop the charges on him?
you don't want a protection order then?
No,
You don't want him ordered to stay away from you?
no, I'll let him do that. I've been waiting 27 years, and I'll let him do that.
Okay.
I need press charges on him.
So we just won't send that down.
Okay. Well, his charges are going to remain because you don't actually file the charges, the prosecutor does. But if you don't want a protection order, I had ordered him to stay away from you. I'll rescind that because that's your choice. If you want to go around him, that's fine. I just don't want there to be any more fighting. I don't want anybody to get hurt.
Come allowed around him?
Yes,
Okay. Thank you.
but I don't know that he wants you living in a trailer. He kind of made that comment before. I had him on here before, so
Yeah.
you all can work that out, get your stuff. But I'm going to have you send, methamphetamine's terrible stuff, so we need to get you off of it. So,
I'm down with him.
okay.
I'm down with all
Well,
of
sometimes
this.
it's not that easy, but I hope it is. I'm going to refer you to ARC for treatment. Jeremy will be calling you from ARC this afternoon sometime. And you get set up for some counseling there. And then I'm assuming you probably don't have the money to hire a lawyer, do you?
No,
Do you have a job?
no, not right now, I don't. I was working for 4 years and I got COVID and it set up blood clots in my body and made me have a stroke in my eye and made me go legally blind. So right now I can't even really see a computer to even work a job.
I'm going to appoint an attorney, Tyler Smith, to represent you, and I'm pretty sure he's here on the 5th. September the 5th is going to be your next hearing, and it's at the court in Chesapeake. Do you know where that is?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you got to be here then,
Yes.
and go to treatment between now and then,
Okay.
whatever they set up for you,
Okay.
and come to court, and they'll give me a report if you're doing it. And that'll make your case go better if you go to treatment, and get you in recovery too. Get off meth.
Yes, I'm off of it. No, I'm good. Definitely want to get off.
Do you have any questions? Well, you're going to get out of jail here shortly.
Thank you so much. No questions at all. I'm ready to
Okay.
get out of here.
I'm sure. All right. $1,000 OR bond. Okay, you're just going to sign something saying you promised to come to court, or you'll pay a $1,000 penalty. So you're guaranteeing your own appearance.
I'll be there.
Okay. That's
Thank you
all.
so much.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Chaz McCoy, case number CRB 23-511 A and B, and CRA 23-505 A and B. And Jack Ball is on deck.
All right, sir, you're Chaz McCoy.
Yes, sir.
I'm Judge Capper, and your case is filed in the court in Chesapeake, so the initial hearings are here, and it's all being, what we're saying today is being recorded by teleconference on a monitor. So if you say anything that admits something about your case, it can be used against you. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one, to have bail, and to make the state prove charges beyond the reasonable doubt. Do you understand those things?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay, first charge is case number 23505A, assault on a peace officer. So alleged on August 17th in Fayette Township, you recklessly caused serious physical harm to Deputy Chin, and that person is a police officer. So that makes it a felony 4. The maximum penalty is 18 months in jail and a $5,000 fine. 505B case number alleges that at the same time and place you were in possession of a controlled substance that had a fentanyl-related compound in it. So that's fentanyl-related compound possession. It's a felony 5, maximum penalty is a year in jail, $2,500 fine. Case number CRB 23511A alleges August 17th in Fayette Township, you were operating a motor vehicle and you willfully eluded or were fleeing from a police officer after you received a visible or audible signal from that officer to bring your vehicle to a stop. That's failure to comply with the order signal of the police officer. It's a first-degree misdemeanor. Maximum penalty 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. 511B alleges resisting arrest, that on August 17th you recklessly or by force resisted or interfered with the lawful arrest of yourself. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 90 days in jail, $750 fine. Do you understand those charges, Mr. McCoy?
You said what now?
Do you understand the charges that have been filed?
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
Do you have the money to hire a lawyer?
You said what?
Do you have money with which to hire a lawyer?
No, Your Honor.
Are you working?
Not right now, no.
Okay, I'm going to appoint J.T. Holt to represent you. And what's the state's position on bond for Mr. McCoy?
Your Honor, Mr. McCoy has an indictment which he appears he has not been arraigned in common police court, and he also is on community control already, although I don't know the specifics of whether there's a hold on him or a warrant, or because it's not indicated. So we've asked for a $10,000 cash or surety bond.
I'll set bond at $10,000 cash or surety. It may be academic because you may have a holder from adult probation in any event. But if they haven't put a holder on you, you can post a bond at $10,000 cash or surety. Do you want to talk to a bail bondsman?
No, I didn't work with him.
Okay. Then you came into the jail when? When were you arrested, sir?
Last night, actually.
Okay, so the 20th.
Yeah. Well, no, not last night. It was a couple nights ago.
Saturday night? Saturday? Okay, so we can still do the preliminary on the 28th. I'm going to set your next hearing in the court in Chesapeake for August 28th, 1 week from today. And I'll notify Mr. Holt that he's been appointed to represent you. Do you have any questions, Mr. McCoy?
No, no.
Okay, we'll see you. If you make bond somehow, then you got to get yourself to court on the 28th. If you're still in custody, I'll see you either in person or by teleconference on the 28th.
All right.
Okay, that's all.
All right.
I'm going to notify Mr. Holt. And Mr. Stratton, I see, appeared on teleconference.
Yes, Your Honor.
State of Ohio recalls Jack Ball, case number CRA 23509, CRA 23510, TRC 231132, A and B. Aaron Atkins is on deck.
We don't have to actually have Aaron, because I'm going to dismiss it.
He'll do that.
Unless if he's not acting out. I mean, if he's going to act out, we don't need him.
Jailer, can you hear? Jailer, can you hear us?
I hear you, sir. I don't need, if Aaron is going to act decent, I can have him on teleconference. If he's acting wild, I don't even have to have him.
Okay, what would that be asking?
Okay. All right, Jack Ball is up next, and he was assessed.
Yes, he definitely needs residential.
Okay, on Jack Ball, JT Holt just told me that apparently he's got something in common, please, and they appoint someone else there. So I'm going to appoint the same person.
It's closer to mine here.
All right, Mr. Ball, it's been recommended that you go to inpatient treatment. Are you willing to do that?
I can do that.
I did tell him it was 6 months, I did tell him it was faith-based, so I just want to make sure that's on the record.
Did you hear that, sir?
Yeah, I heard it. Like, I'll go to treatment as long as I can get out of here, I'll go.
Good, I'll pick you up.
And well, here's the thing, you got, not only do you have to go, but you have to participate, you have to make a good faith effort. This is for you ultimately.
I will.
And he has to
Okay.
stay.
And you have to stay there. And the thing is, you have felonies, so if you run, you face other charges, and there's nowhere you can run to that the warrant isn't going to be good to pick you up.
Well, I don't think I'm running, so.
Okay. Well, I have people run, but nobody yet has told me, Judge, I plan on running. They just do it later. They just run later. They don't tell me they're going to run.
Well, I'm not like that.
Okay, well, good. I'll let you sign a signature bond of $2,000 and order him released to Bethesda for inpatient and set. Well, I guess we'll have to set it for August 28th since he didn't have counsel today. So a week.
All right.
So I'll see you in a week and hopefully get a good report that you're doing well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, someone will pick you up this afternoon to go to treatment.
Was he appointed a lawyer?
Thank you.
Steyer,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome. Do we want to see Aaron or not?
Can you hear me, Your Honor?
Do you want, should I
Okay.
see Aaron or not? I'm just going to dismiss his cases here since he got convicted. He's probably going to prison.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to come up.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I'll put it on the record. All right, Aaron Atkins is case number 17972, 15628, 15181. All misdemeanor theft offenses, he's done some. He still had some stuff left to do. But he got a conviction for a pretty serious charge in common pleas. He's probably going to go to prison. So I'm going to conclude all these cases by jail time.
They already.
They're all reduced, yeah.
State of Ohio versus Nathaniel James, case number CRD 23317. It's Mr. Stratton's case. Nathaniel James.
Okay, on Chaz McCoy, I'm going to appoint Davenport, because apparently he's representing him in common pleas court.
You're recalling that.
What you want me to do?
That's the phone.
It should be over there. Chaz McCoy, Davenport, apparently he's already representing on something in common pleas. I guess, I haven't seen him for years.
Yeah, he does some cases in Ironton occasionally.
Okay.
She's looking for Nathaniel James.
Nathaniel James is set for a pretrial, and it's Mr. Stratton's case. And he's appearing by teleconference.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is Nathaniel James here?
He's actually a residential client. I talked to him just a little bit ago, but he is MIA right now.
Oh, so you left treatment? Or?
I don't know.
I can't find him, Your Honor.
And I'm assuming you haven't heard from him, Mr. Stratton.
No, Your Honor, last time, he was supposed to be at Bethesda.
All right, well, he's got a week to show up before a warrant will be issued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Benjamin L. Shepherd, case number CRB 23240. Benjamin Shepherd.
He was here for a review this morning.
Earlier today, yes, he was here for a review, but left.
I'm being told he left. He did show up for a review hearing. He's not here now. This is for a pretrial.
Yes, Your Honor, should have had a ODP letter.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you said.
He should have had a letter from counseling at ODP.
I'm not sure if he did. Brandon, do you know what his status is?
No, is he an outpatient patient?
He was.
Do you know which office?
Looks like it was Proctorville.
I can call and find out.
Okay. Okay, we're going to check on that, Mr. Stratton.
State of Ohio versus Stephen Carmen, case number TRC 222038, A and B.
All right, this is Mr. Stratton's case, and it's on the docket as a sentencing.
Yes, Your Honor, it was,
Is it amended
I believe,
reading?
assessment, yes. Amended reading, yes.
Madam President? Yes. Thank you.
Now, Your Honor, overall, he has been compliant. I do need to report to the court that there appears to have been a miscommunication regarding the drug screenings, and he did miss 2 screenings last week. I have since met with him and kind of re-explained how our process goes in regards to calling in and checking for his color. He was also unaware of what color he was. So in the future, we expect to have no issues, but
Well, let's have him do one here today. We'll do a urine screen here, Mr. Carmen, and I'll have you back out after we get the results.
Okay.
Go to the probation office and get a screen.
State of Ohio versus Kara Hearn, case number CRB 2381.
This is Mr. Stratton's case.
Madam Clerk, Your Honor.
Yes. She's at Bethesda. Okay. Says says she has made tremendous improvement, had a couple of successful passes, continues to thrive in treatment. So it sounds like things are going the right way.
They're going the right way. Yeah.
She has continued to do her weekly check-ins, and she's compliant with QRT as well.
Thank you. Anything you want to say?
No,
All right. You're doing great.
thank you.
Keep it up.
No, well,
So I think we can go a month now, Mr. Stratton. How about the 25th of September?
Sounds good.
All right. Good job, Kara.
Thank
Keep
you.
it up, and we'll see you in a month, hopefully with the same kind of reports.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Tyus Ferguson, case number TRC 23506A and D. Your Honor, he did not check in. I was told he called and said that his car broke down, he couldn't get here.
Okay.
He was set for trial.
Set for trial at noon. And he doesn't have a lawyer. Lives in Russell, Kentucky, according to the citation. All right, I'll issue a warrant for failure to appear.
Thank you very much, Coleman. Thank you.
Bring in. Okay, we've got 2 recalls, and then we'll be completed. Do you have Mike Davenport's contact information?
I do, Your Honor.
I don't think I did. Let me check. Maybe I did. Well, I've got 740 numbers he lives in. Doesn't he live in West Virginia?
Yeah, I can send it to you.
I was going to text him a copy of the charges on McCoy. Okay, got it, thank you.
I think the 532 number on there is from when he was in Ironton.
Probably wind up nulling those if he already has charges in common pleas anyway.
Yes.
You know, Cody Smith on, Mr. Stratton still on there? Looks like that got nollied, didn't it, to the grand jury anyway.
Your Honor, on Cody Smith, we addressed his pretrial domestic the other day. We put it on the 15th.
Okay.
Felonies got dismissed. But today was the day that was supposed to have pre-trial on the domestic violence.
Oh, it is on the docket today?
It's on the docket, but we'll remove it to the 15th,
Okay.
last week.
All right, so it should be on September 15th.
Your Honor, for domestic violence. Case number. It shows it was not laid on the 18th.
I think there was two domestics, wasn't there? There was an old domestic and a new domestic.
That was the new domestic, was the old domestic the one that?
There was an old domestic that was still on the docket, I think.
There was a domestic tied to the felony.
Yeah, it got nollied. The old one, and I think that was the new one. The old one is still here. There's a 22 case number, I think.
I'm not finding it.
Yes.
Sean, you got a case number on that?
Do you have a case number for that domestic?
I only see one domestic.
It might be under R. There, yeah, there it is. It's actually a 23-210. It's still, it is on the docket September 15th.
And if I recall correctly, we were kind of doing a 90-day thing on that, I think. Of course, that goes by the wayside with this new stuff.
I think it's the same victim and then on this new.
Yeah.
We had, when he says we just had a pre-trial also.
Okay, we'll keep it on the 15th then.
All right, thanks.
State of Ohio recalls Stephen Carmen, case number TRC 22-2038, A and B. Stephen Carmen.
All right, it's a passable screen, so continue with what you have been doing with amended reads, and we'll come back in another month.
Yes, Your Honor.
September 25th. Is that, and I know you're here then.
No, that's good, Ron.
Thank you. So then the only thing we have left is
State of Ohio recalls Benjamin L. Shepherd, case number CRB 23-240.
we were going to check to see if he's compliant with OVP.
So they said that they sent a report over last in July, but he no call, no show his last appointment, and that has not been rescheduled, so.
Do you have, can you get him in, Mr. Stratton?
I will try, Ron.
Why don't we
In
just,
7 days.
let's reschedule it, since there may have been some confusion about the, he did have a review hearing, he showed up for that.
Of course, he's on.
Are you here September 5th?
Yes, I'm going to get your second list.
Let's do that. That gives you some time to try to get him in.
Okay.
And he needs to get back with OVP. September 5th is the next hearing on Benjamin Shepherd. For
All
pre-trial.
right, thank you, Ron.
Thank you. And that concludes things. The court's adjourned.